There are changes coming to the Cisco Security CCNP and CCIE Core exam, as well as with the related concentration exams for the Security CCNP. If you're studying for any of these, you're going to want to watch this video. Hi, my name is Rich and welcome to the Rich Tech Guy channel. And in this video, I'm going to cover some changes that are happening with the CCNP and CCIE security exam, as well as their related concentration exams. And these changes are happening fast, like within a few months, as of the time of filming this video. So if you're currently studying for that, you're going to want to take a look at this and know that you've got a ticking clock happening. By the way, I'm talking about the changes that are happening to the CCNP Security certification, not the CCNP Cybersecurity certification. Those are two different programs. But speaking of the Cybersecurity certification, just know that I do have a video about changes that have happened to that. They've already gone into effect at the time of filming this, but if you're curious as to what those are, go ahead and check that out. I'll link it up above and in the description below. So before I get into these changes, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, why not? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button too. It's like right down there next to my channel name. So go ahead and hit that. Now, let's talk about what's changing to the CCNP security program. Let's start with what is going away. 3 of the specialist certifications, or the concentration exams for the CCNP, are going away. They will be retired. And those 3 are the 300-720 SESA, which is securing email with Cisco Email Security Appliance. The next one is the 300-725 SWSA, which is the securing web with Cisco Cisco Secure Web Appliance. And then the last one that is going away is the 300-730 SVPN, or implementing secure solutions with virtual private networks. So those 3 exams are going to be retired. The last date to test for them is August 26th of 2026. So if you are currently studying for any of those exams, that is your deadline. You need to get the exam passed before August 26th, 2026. Okay. Now, if you do pass it, just know your certification will still be valid for 3 years. So the specialist certification you will get for it is going to be valid for 3 years. And you will also, while that is valid, you can pair that up with the Security Core exam in order to get your CCNP, even though the exam has already been retired. So if you're in the process of studying for one of these, go ahead and finish that out if you think you can get that completed before August 26th of 2026. Otherwise, if maybe you're just thinking about starting one of these, you might want to look at going to one of the other concentration exams that is remaining but being updated. So in regards to the content that is staying or really being updated, there are 3 specializations or 3 concentration exams that are sticking around. And we're going to start with the 300-710 SNCF, or Securing Networks with Cisco Firewalls. Of course, that one, it's going to stick around. Firewalls, they're still around. And of course, Cisco's even, it was last year at Cisco Live, talked about a whole new line of Cisco firewalls. Or new products within the firewall line. And this exam, though, it's being updated it's currently on version 1.1. It's going to go to version 1.2. And what it's going to cover is, of course, it's going to remain focused on Cisco firewalls managed through Cisco Secure Firewall Manager. But it's also going to include Cisco Security Cloud Control Management of your firewalls, and additionally, it's going to add some Splunk integration as well as AI-driven threat intelligence. You know, Cisco bought Splunk, so it's only a matter of time before Splunk content starts getting into these exams. And also these exams are going to have deeper firewall troubleshooting scenarios. So speculation at this point, this could be the questions that you get asked about what's going on if you encounter a problem or challenge with your firewall. It may get a little bit more granular in how deep it's diving in the question. There's also the other possibility, of course, with Cisco exams, you have the little simulations that type questions where you're actually on a system and you have to click through or type in command line stuff. So that might even go a little bit deeper if you encounter any questions such as that. Having not seen the new exam, I honestly can't tell you how that's going to play out, but that's just speculation on my part, just from experience taking Cisco certification exams. Now, there will be full training releases regarding the new SNCF exam, and that will be released in late 2026, so calendar Q4, so that would be October through December of 2026. Now, the last date to test for the current version of the exam, if you're studying for that, is August 26th. If you don't feel like you're going to be able to do that, you're going to have to start looking for some of that new content that's coming out on Cisco U or instructor-led trainings, and look to take the exam, the new version, afterwards. But my advice to you is, if you are currently studying for this, work to get that current version in, so that way you'll have that locked in prior to the end of August. So the next exam we're going to cover here is going to be the 300-715, or the SISE, Implementing and Configuring Cisco Identity Services Engine, also known as Cisco ICE, spelt I-S-E, not I-C-E. That's also getting an update to version 1.2. It's going to remain centered on Cisco ICE, the Identity Services Engine, and it's got some updates that are going to hit and they're going to be driven around identity-driven security and with enhanced coverage of BYOD, bring your own device lifecycle management. So if you've got users in your environment, in your office, that you have a BYOD plan, there's going to be some updates regarding handling that. And also going to be updates for the Identity Service Engines with its Posture Work Center in regards to compliance operations. Training for this is actually already available in terms of instructor-led and for Cisco U content. So if you are studying for this, again, just like the previous exam, if you feel like you can do 1.1 before the update happens before the last day to test on August 26th, go ahead and get that in. Otherwise, you might want to go out there and take a look at some of the new content and look to take the new version that will go live starting on August 27th of 2026. The final exam, in terms of the concentration exams that we're going to talk about here, is going to be the 300-740, or the SCAZT exam. And this is designing and implementing Cisco Secure Cloud Access for users and endpoints. And this exam is actually going to get a major update. It is actually going to leap all the way up to version 2.0. So there's going to be a lot of changes happening on it, and it's refocusing its content around modern cloud security architectures, and it's going to have a focus on safeguarding with next-gen cloud-delivered applications and services. All right, so let's take a look at the new topics for the SCAZT exam. So this, of course, this is actually on Cisco's website. You can go pull them up. So these are the new topics for the Secure Cloud Access, users and endpoints. And we're going to start off, so 10% on concepts, 20% on identity, 30% on policies, 30% on access, and 10% on operations. So let's dive into that a little bit more. Okay, we're going to go into industry cloud security frameworks such as NIST SP, CISA Zero Trust Maturity Model. mitigation methods to defend against attacker tactics and techniques using MITRE attack cloud frameworks. Describe security requirements for public cloud platforms such as AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. Describe optional requirements for public cloud platforms such as AWS, Azure, Google, and Cloud. And private cloud, including local hypervisors such as VMware and container orchestration platforms such as Kubernetes. And eBPF-based tools, so Cilium, Telegram, provide runtime security observability and enforcement for containerized workloads in your Kubernetes environment. All right, so that's a quick overview of the concepts. We get into identity, use and function of identity intelligence across IDPs, implement user and device authorization via identity certificates, implement multi-factor authentication, including stuff that is phishing resistant, and of course Cisco Duo, which is a great multi-factor authentication platform. I highly recommend using that one. Implement endpoint posture policies for user access to resources. Configure user and device trust using SAML authentication for mobile and web applications. And configure SSO, so single sign-on and user provisioning for IDP connection using SCIM or SAML. Okay, policies. Now we're into 30% of the exam, so now we're getting into a pretty big chunk here. Encryption methods for data in transit and at rest in cloud environments such as TLS, IPsec, in context, and through tunnels. Features such as IPS, DLP, and malware protection to help secure private access. So intrusion prevention, data loss prevention, malware protection. Describe the use and purposes, characteristics of AI defense, AI features and secure access, AI guardrails. So we're definitely getting some of that AI content coming in here. And describe how web application firewalls protect against DDoS. And then determine security policies for network security edge, enforce application policies, so security services edge, SSE, and SD-WAN, such as Cisco Firewall using Firewall Threat Defense, Meraki, and Catalyst. Determine security policies for application enforcement, using Cisco Secure Workload and enforcement agents, so lateral movement prevention, locking things down through microsegmentation, vulnerability assessment and response, application discovery monitoring, sounds like an AppD play right there, and policy creation, validation, and analytics. Next, we've got access, so DNS security, secure web gateway, data loss protection, and configure CASB, cloud access security stuff there. So configure secure private access for workloads, and remote connector for IP access backhaul branch connectivity. Configure secure private access for users, so VPN as a service with ICE, and Radius server using secure access, Cisco Secure Client, formerly known as AnyConnect, and Cisco Digital Experience Monitoring using Thousand Eyes and Secure Access, Zero Trust Access using Secure Access, Cisco Secure Client, so QIC and Mask. And then lastly, we've got a final 10% here on operations, selecting process or tool that provides cloud application visibility, microsegmentation, traffic analysis, policy enforcement based on security requirements, interpret traffic flow and telemetry reports for baseline and compliance behavior analysis. That sounds like a Cisco Secure Workload play. Interpret Cisco Secure Access dashboards, and integrate Cisco Secure Access with XDR and Splunk Enterprise to enhance SOC operations. There will be full training releases in Q4 of 2026, so that's October through December, and you are definitely going to want to go ahead and take a look at that. There might even be some partial content out there on Cisco U, so if you've got a Cisco U subscription, go ahead and check that out. Again, the last date to test for the current version is going to be August 26th. I'm repeating this date a lot, of course. The new version goes live August 27th of 2026. All right, so next, let's talk about the Security Core exam. There are updates coming to this. It is actually going to be bumped up major version release to version 2.0. So again, current version of the exam, it will be available until August 26th. Starting August 27th, you will be required to do version 2.0 of the Security Core concentration exam. So quick overview, and then I'm going to go into some of the exam topics. We'll review the exam topics, but it's adding things like AI and LLM security vulnerabilities, prompt injection, data poisoning. This is some fun stuff going on here. We're going to go into zero trust, SSE and SASE methodology. This is really what is taking the place of VPN and why the VPN concentration is going away. VPNs are becoming a sort of a relic. There is still a lot of use for it. I know there's just about every YouTuber out there in the tech space, and actually even not in the tech space, seems to be sponsored by some VPN company. We'll see what happens to those businesses, but in terms of the enterprise environment and the work environment, VPNs are really going away. And we're now looking at SSE and SASE and zero trust to be the way forward in that. There's also going to be some advanced telemetry content regarding Splunk. Once again, Cisco bought Splunk, so that content is going to start showing up in the Security Core exam. And we're also going to go into things like eBPF-based workloads, so secure containerized applications and kernel-level security for that. And post-quantum cryptography. Okay, this is a topic that's going to grow and it's going to become bigger and more relevant. I actually did a video that I put out at the beginning of this year about 10 cybersecurity topics that you need to get up to date, or skills that you need to learn for 2026. If you haven't seen that, I encourage you to go check that out. I'll link that up above and in the description below. But that is the quick overview. Let's take a quick look at the exam topics. All right, let's take a look at some of the new exam content that Cisco has posted regarding the Cisco Security Core exam. So we've got 20% on security concepts, 25% on network security, 15% cloud security, 4% is 4.0, 10% is secure service edge. The next batch 5, endpoint protection and detection, 15%, and then lastly, network access, visibility, and enforcement, 15%. So let's go into the security concepts. We've got 10 different subcategories here. Explain attack threats on premises, hybrid cloud environments such as viruses, Trojans, denial of service, DDoS, phishing, rootkit, man in the middle, all the different types of attacks and threats that are out there. Describe security vulnerabilities and exploits such as software bugs, weak or hard-coded passwords, OS swap .10, missing encryption ciphers, so on and so forth, SQL injection, yep. Describe vulnerabilities in AI and LLM models. This is something that's growing quickly. Things like AI prompt injection, doing some data poisoning, trying to force AI hallucinations, so system prompt leakage, vector and embedding weaknesses, supply chain attacks. This is a big one. There's been some recent breaches around supply chain that have been some pretty nasty here. So yeah, that's certainly a big one that's growing there. Describe the controls used to protect against phishing and social engineering attacks. Current cryptography security components such as hashing, encryption, PKI, SSL, TLS. We're going to go through a lot of these. Describe the site-to-site and remote access VPN deployment type. So it's funny as the VPN concentration is going away, but VPNs are still going to be around for a while, so you still have to be aware of them from the security core perspective. Yeah, that it's still going to be out there, and you're still going to have to know the standards-based IPsec, SSL VPN, and different VPN types that can be deployed: DMVPN, FlexVPN, and GetVPN. Describe security intelligence, authoring, and sharing consumption, zero trust architecture, and then we've got describe defense in depth strategy, such as security architecture for everyone, also known as SAFE. Yeah, gotta love security, all the fun acronyms that are out there. And interpret scripts used to call security appliance APIs in a language such as Python. So automation is still going to remain a part of the security core, even though the security automation exam has gone away. So next we'll go into network security. Okay, network security solutions and deployment models, security monitoring and telemetry techniques. And then we've got configure network infrastructure security methods. So network segmentation, VLANs, SGTs, and yep, all sorts of fun things. ARP inspection, storm control, VLAN hopping, spanning tree protocol, DHCP rogue attacks. So next we've got select management options for network security solutions, single versus multi-device management, in-band versus out-of-band, on-premise or versus cloud, security cloud control. Describe CIS benchmarks for hardening devices such as Cisco Secure Firewall using FTD and Cisco IOS XE. Troubleshooting AAA for device and network access such as TACACS Radius. Configure Cisco Secure Network Management of perimeter security and infrastructure devices such as SNMP v3, NetConf, RESTConf, API, Secure Syslog, and NTP with authentication. Implement access control policies, AVC, URL filtering, malware protection, intrusion prevention, and Cisco Secure Firewall, FTD. And configure site-to-site remote access VPN, and Cisco Secure Firewall and Cisco Secure Client. One of the things I'm noticing here is the older Cisco firewalls, they're going away. It's focusing much more on the newer stuff, the Firepower line and Cisco Secure Firewall. So that's something to just be aware of. That's just something I'm noticing as I'm reading through these. And then, of course, troubleshooting VPN tunnel establishment and Cisco Secure Firewall with FTD. Yeah, so VPN, it's still there, even though the concentration exam is going away, but VPNs will still be something for a while. It's just going to slowly disappear, so you still have to be knowledgeable about that. And this is 25% of the exam, so this is the biggest single section of the exam is going to be around network security. Cloud security. Okay, describe security responsibility within cloud responsibility models. So things like software as a service, infrastructure as a service, all those fun cloud shared responsibility models. Security capabilities, deployment models, security cloud frameworks, policy management to secure the cloud, security solutions for cloud environments, public, private, hybrid, community cloud. So all of this stuff is going to be kind of similar to what I went over with the cloud security concentration topics. Network, application, data security in cloud environments. Configure Splunk to ingest cloud logging. So yeah, we've got Splunk integration happening. Describe application and workload security concepts, including eBPF. Describe DevSecOps, infrastructure code security, the CI/CD pipeline, container orchestration, and secure software development. Next, we've got 10% of the exam here for Secure Service Edge. So Security Service Edge, SSE, and SASE, Secure Access Service Edge. We've got configure Cisco Secure Access and Secure Internet Access, configure Cisco Secure Access, Secure Private Access, and configure configure data loss prevention and AI guardrails for secure Internet access. So again, we're looking at trying to protect what AI is going to reveal. And interpret Cisco Secure Access and investigate scores and indicators. Now we've got 15% around endpoint protection and detection. Describe EPP, endpoint protection platforms, and endpoint detection and response solutions, so EDR solutions. Managed endpoint device management, so MDM solutions. And endpoint posture assessment. Describe endpoint protection and device detection security with solutions such as Cisco Secure Client, Cisco Malware Analytics. Configure endpoint anti-malware protection using Cisco Secure Endpoint. And interpret Cisco Secure Endpoint malware detection events. Configure email security features using the Security Email Threat Defense. So that's another concentration exam going away, but content will still be in the core exam. And lastly, network access, visibility, and enforcement. So describe identity management, Cisco network access concepts such as guest services profiling, posture assessment, and BYOD. Describe device compliance and access control. We've got access control mechanisms, 802.1x, MAB with Cisco Identity Services Engine. Configure network access with COA. And explain exfiltration techniques such as DNS tunneling, HTTPS, email, and so on. Describe network visibility and enforcement using telemetry, native AI ML capabilities, XDR, and SIEM SOAR platforms such as Splunk and XDR. Describe Cisco Duo and Azure Security Trust Architecture. So Cisco Duo, of course, multi-factor authentication. Device trust, health checks, SSO, single sign-on. Describe managing, orchestrating, and automating security information and events with Splunk. So, yep, there's that overview of the new exam topics that are happening with version 2.0 of the Cisco Security Core exam. Now, keep in mind the Security Core exam, it's not just for the CCNP, it is also the CCIE written exam. And so that's something to be aware of for the, if you're trying to get a security CCIE, and maybe you want to get this exam in before August 26, 2026, so that way you can get that written exam passed. Now, as of the time of this filming, this is subject to change given that the core exam is changing, but as of the time of this filming, no updates have been announced to the Cisco Security Lab exam for the CCIE. If that changes, I'll put out a new video and I'll talk about the changes going on with the lab exam, if that happens, or when that happens, because at this point I say it's likely to happen, but as of the time of this filming, they are still on the current version of the lab exam for the CCIE. So are you currently working towards your CCNP or CCIE security? If so, what do you think about these changes? By the way, that also applies to the specialist or the concentration exams as well. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts are in regards to this. And yeah, you've made it to the end of this video. Go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, once again, the subscribe button right down there next to my channel name. So go ahead and hit that too. By the way, I've also got some affiliate links out there that if you're looking for some content or material to help you along in your learning journey, as I said, they are affiliate links. Do with that information what you will, but highly encourage you to go check those out if you are working towards any Cisco certifications. And as always, keep studying, keep learning, keep improving, and I will see you in the next one.